A small flame moves through the darkness. One ancient human carries a burning branch while the rest of the group follows close behind. The light barely reaches the walls. Smoke enters their eyes. Sparks fall onto the dry ground. Somewhere deeper inside the cave, an animal moves. The person carrying the flame may be holding the most valuable thing the group owns. If it goes out, they may not know when they will get another one. But if they keep moving forward, the darkness of the cave will never feel the same again. What happened when ancient humans first brought fire into a cave? We cannot identify the first person who did it. There was no single recorded night when one brave human officially invented the indoor fire. Archaeologists can find burned bones, heated sediment, ash, charcoal, and altered stone. But they cannot recover the thoughts of the people standing around the flames. Some early evidence is disputed because natural fires can burn landscapes and move material into archaeological sites. Yet at Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa, researchers found microscopic evidence that plant material and bone burned inside the cave roughly 1 million years ago, far enough from the entrance to make an ordinary grass fire an unlikely explanation. That does not mean these humans could produce fire whenever they wanted. Controlling an existing flame and creating a new one are different achievements. Early humans may sometimes have collected burning branches or glowing material from natural fires caused by lightning, volcanic activity, or burning vegetation. Once they possessed fire, they may have tried to preserve it for as long as possible. A flame could be carried. Glowing embers could be wrapped in suitable material. A fire could be fed through the night. But if the last ember died, the group might have to wait for nature to provide another opportunity. Imagine the pressure placed on the person carrying it. Wind outside can extinguish the flame. Moving too quickly can scatter sparks. Holding it too close burns the hand. Holding it too far away allows the branch to cool. Then the group reaches the cave entrance. Outside, smoke can rise freely into the sky. Inside, it becomes trapped beneath rock. The flame offers safety, but it also introduces a new danger. Before fire entered, a cave was not an empty house waiting for humans. It was cold, dark, uneven, and sometimes already occupied. Large carnivores used caves for shelter, feeding, or raising young. Snakes and smaller animals could hide inside cracks. Sharp rocks waited beneath every step. Deep darkness made it difficult to know whether the next sound came from dripping water, a frightened animal, or a predator defending its den. The first burning branch changes that immediately. Light reveals the floor. The group can see bones, holes, droppings, insects, and dangerous edges. Shadows still move across the walls, but the people are no longer entering completely blind. They can inspect the shelter before placing children or food inside it. They can select a dry area, identify exits, and discover whether another animal has recently been there. Fire may also discourage some predators. It does not create an invisible wall that every animal fears, and a hungry or surprised predator can still attack. But flame, smoke, movement, and a noisy group of humans can make the shelter less attractive. For the first time, the cave does not only protect people from the weather. The people can actively transform it into a defended space. Then the first problem begins. The cave fills with smoke. A modern fireplace uses a chimney or carefully designed ventilation. Ancient humans had neither. If the fire is placed too deep inside, smoke gathers above the group and spreads through the chamber. Eyes water. People cough. Breathing becomes painful. A sleeping person may not recognize danger quickly enough. The group has to learn through observation, discomfort, and possibly tragedy. The location of the fire matters. A position near the entrance may allow smoke to escape, but wind can blow flames toward sleeping areas or extinguish them. A position farther inside provides warmth and light, but creates worse ventilation. The shape of the cave, direction of the wind, season, and size of the flame all affect the result. A sheltered fire is useful only if the shelter does not become a smoke trap. Fuel becomes another constant problem. Fire consumes material whether people are awake or asleep. Branches must be gathered, carried, broken, and kept dry. Wet wood creates more smoke and less useful heat. Small sticks burn quickly. Large pieces may be difficult to ignite. Every hour of comfort inside the cave requires someone to search outside for more fuel. This means the fire creates a new job before jobs exist. Someone has to watch it. That person may be an injured hunter, an older adult, a nursing parent, or anyone remaining close to the shelter. They move embers together, Add branches, prevent children from touching the flame, and notice when smoke changes direction. Their task may look easy compared with hunting a large animal, but one mistake can leave the entire group cold and dark. Children create a special danger. The flame moves, cracks, glows, and throws sparks. It is probably irresistible to a curious child. One small hand reaches toward it. An adult pulls the child back. Another child steps on a hot coal hidden beneath ash. Hair, dry grass, animal skins, and bedding can catch fire. Long before formal warnings existed, painful experience would have taught people that fire had rules. Those rules had to be remembered and taught. Do not sleep too close. Do not place dry material beside the flames. Do not throw certain wet objects into the heat. Do not leave young children alone with it. Keep fuel nearby, but not so near that one spark ignites everything. Protect the embers when the wind changes. The earliest fire knowledge may have existed not as written instructions, but as repeated actions, warnings, stories, and scars. Food may have been placed near the heat as well. Fire could soften some foods, make meat easier to chew, warm cold meals, and change flavor. Heating can reduce some biological risks, although people could not see microbes or explain the process scientifically. They only needed to notice patterns. Food heated in one way might taste better, last differently, or cause less sickness than food eaten raw. But burning food wastes precious calories, and undercooked or spoiled meat can still be dangerous. The smell creates another problem. Cooking meat inside a cave can advertise the group's location. Smoke and fat carry through the air. Scavengers and predators may investigate. Food scraps left near the shelter attract insects and animals after the humans sleep. Fire can help protect the meal, but it can also announce that a meal exists. Despite these costs, the cave becomes dramatically more useful. Warmth allows people to remain inside during colder nights. Light extends activity beyond sunset. Tools can be repaired after dark. Meat can be cut and divided. Hides can be scraped. Plant fibers can be twisted. Injuries can be examined. Children can remain close to adults rather than disappearing into darkness. Time itself begins to feel different. Without artificial light, sunset limits what the eyes can do. Fire creates an island of visibility after the sun disappears. Humans can remain awake together without standing helplessly in the dark. The night is no longer only a period of hiding, listening, and waiting for morning. Around the flame, faces become visible. People can watch expressions, gestures, and reactions. They can discuss where animals were seen, where water was found, and where danger appeared. A successful hunter can demonstrate a movement with a spear. An experienced gatherer can show a child which route to avoid. Someone can repair a tool while listening to a story about a previous journey. The fire does not automatically invent language, teaching, friendship, or storytelling. Humans and earlier hominins could communicate and cooperate without sitting inside a glowing cave. But controlled light may have created more opportunities for these activities to continue after dark. The same fire that warmed bodies could also gather attention into one shared space. Imagine a child sitting near the first indoor flame. On the wall behind an adult, shadows stretch into enormous shapes. A simple hunting story becomes a moving performance. A raised hand turns into the head of an animal. A spear casts a long black line across the rock. The child watches, laughs, becomes frightened, and remembers. The cave is no longer only stone. It has a center. That center influences social life. Who sits closest to the warmth? Who receives the safest sleeping place? Who controls the fuel? Who decides when the group moves? Who is trusted to protect the embers? Fire is useful to everyone, but access may not always be equal. A strong individual could try to control it. A family might gather around one side. An outsider could be kept beyond the comfortable circle. At the same time, fire rewards cooperation. One person gathers fuel. Another carries food. Another protects children. Another keeps watch near the entrance. Another tends the embers. A flame survives because several different tasks connect. The group does not merely possess fire. It organizes itself around fire. The glow may also make compassion easier. A sick person can be kept warm. An injured person can rest while others work. Food can be softened for someone with damaged teeth. A frightened child can see familiar faces during the night. Fire does not create care, but it gives care new tools. Yet we should not romanticize the scene. A cave filled with humans, smoke, food waste, insects, noise, and frightened children would not resemble a clean modern home. The floor could be dirty, parasites could spread, people could suffer burns. Arguments could become intense inside a confined space. Predators might wait outside. A collapsing fire could fill the sleeping area with smoke. Shelter solved some problems while concentrating others. Nor did all ancient humans live permanently inside caves. Caves are archaeologically visible because their sediments can preserve objects and remains. Open-air camps were also important, but many traces disappeared through erosion, weather, plants, animals, and later human activity. The archaeological record can make caves appear more central to ancient life than they were for every group. Even at Wonderwerk, the evidence does not show us one family carrying one dramatic torch underground for the first time. It tells us that burning occurred inside the cave and was associated with human occupation. The exact behavior, purpose, frequency, and ability to create fire remain subjects of investigation. Science gives us evidence, not a complete movie. But the transformation can still be imagined responsibly. Before the flame, the cave controls the humans. Darkness limits movement. Cold limits comfort. Predators may claim the space. Sunset ends many activities. After the flame, humans begin controlling parts of the cave. They decide where light exists. They decide which corner becomes warm. They can see what approaches. They can work after sunset. They can gather around a center they created themselves. That may be the deeper importance of bringing fire underground. Early humans were not merely adapting their bodies to an environment. They were changing the environment around their bodies. Instead of waiting for daylight, they carried light. Instead of only searching for warm shelter, they produced warmth inside shelter. Instead of surrendering every dark space to other animals, they entered with smoke, noise, tools, and flame. Return to the person holding the burning branch. The group has moved deeper into the cave. Their eyes hurt from smoke. One child is frightened. Someone hears an animal retreat through the darkness. The branch begins to fade. Everyone looks at the flame. Dry grass is placed beneath it. Small sticks follow. Someone shields the weak glow from moving air. For a moment, only red embers remain. Then a new flame rises. The cave walls become visible again. Nobody there understands combustion, heat, fuel, or can explain oxygen, heat, fuel, or chemical reactions. But they understand something more immediate. The flame can die. The flame can spread. And the flame can change where humans are able to live. The first fire brought into a cave may not have been the first controlled fire, the first cooked meal, or the first night humans gathered together. We may never know exactly when those events happened. But once humans learned to preserve fire inside darkness, a cave could become more than a place they entered. It could become a place they shaped. The fire did more than illuminate the rock. It helped humans begin turning shelter into home, darkness into shared time, and a dangerous natural space into part of the human world.